Namaskaram. Imagine meeting someone who seems to know your thoughts before you even speak them. In this episode, we uncover jaw dropping stories from an Isha meditator about her encounters with the one and only Sadhguru, where it feels like he's tuned into your mind and heart. Trust me, you'll be hooked from the very first word. Namaskaram, Akka.
Namaskaram.
How are you?
I'm good.
It's so nice to have you here on Between the Pages with us today.
I'm also happy to be here.
So, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
I'm Manju Parvatikar. I used to work in a bank, and after retiring, now I'm working with Isha. So I'm a volunteer for Isha Foundation.
That's cool. So, how did you first know about Isha Foundation and how did you join Sadhguru?
Okay, so this is almost 21 years back. I was reading quite a few books, and they were talking about meditation. So I used to sit and think, okay, maybe what they said was, ultimately you have to meditate. Only then something will happen in your life, kind of a thing. Almost all the books I read were saying that. I said, okay, let me try out meditation. So I used to sit and close my eyes. The minute I closed my eyes, I used to fall asleep. It happened all the time, all the time. So I'm just thinking that much. Then one day when I came home from work, I came early, and next to the lift, I had to go up to my house. There was this notice board on which there was a brochure of Isha. And they said, learn meditation, something like that. And it was supposed to be that intro talk was that same day, that evening.
Oh, okay.
So I said, anyway, there's no one upstairs. Why do I have to go up? I will go directly for this.
Okay.
So I went and I did the program.
What program was it?
It is a basic program, the first program you do with Isha Foundation. In those days, it was called Isha Yoga Program. Nowadays, it's called Inner Engineering.
Inner engineering,
Yes.
short for engineering. So, do you remember the first thing Sadhguru said and you were just like, wow?
Okay. So actually, I had, in those days, since there was no social media, I had never heard of Sadhguru. And even when I went for the program, there were no Sadhguru videos or anything like that. I had never seen him or heard him talk. So in the program, like we have 500, 600 people there, and he's sitting on the stage. It was a different thing. Then one day I got a mail saying that Isha is taking people to Kailash. If you're interested, 21 days with Sadhguru. That's how it was. I said, wow, I must go for this. So I enrolled, and we went there. There was a little bit of preparation. They told us you have to bring this because it's cold and all those things. We did all that, and we went. Now, this was the first trip that Isha was doing to Kailash.
Oh.
Okay. Because China had just opened up Tibet for us. Others, India, we were not getting visas then.
Okay.
So China had just opened, and so I think Isha decided we'll go, and I was a part of that trip. And so Tibet was very different from what it is now. The terrain was very different. There was no development, so there were no roads, there were no hotels. And so from Lhasa, we had to travel all the way to Kailash over a period of almost 5-6 days. So you go in these 4-wheel drives. There were 150 of us. So around 40 cars.
Wow.
In a rally kind of a thing, we were traveling. And so wherever you found a nice place, there are not much trees. It's like a cold desert.
Yeah.
If you've seen any of Leh Ladakh pictures,
Yeah,
you will. So it's like that. It's the same terrain there. So the terrain sometimes is very beautiful, like you see sand dunes, and if there's sun shining on that, each grain of sand is shiny. It's so magical. So we went. We had to sleep in tents since there were no hotels. Cool. So we had these huge tents in which 30 people, 40 people like that could sleep. Okay. And so you choose a place. Okay, this is a good enough place. Not many trees there. It's a desert kind of a place. So they decide, okay, this is a good enough place. We'll have lunch here. So we have lunch there. This is a good enough place. We camp here. So that's how it used to happen. Then what happened? For visa and for security things and all that, we had to always get down from our car and stand in a queue and show our papers to the officers, and then cross over the barricades. Lots of barricades on the way. And when we are standing in the queue, Sadhguru is walking up and down. He's even trying to keep our spirits high. He'll make a joke with somebody. He'll talk to somebody. So how is it going? He'll ask, and all those kind of things. He never looked at me.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm feeling very bad. He'll talk to the person here. He'll talk to the person there, not looking at me. Then one night in the tent, before sleeping, I'm saying, I want Sadhguru to talk with me, and that too with my name. I'm saying to myself, okay, before sleeping.
Okay.
Okay. So next day morning, again there is this check post kind of a thing. I was the first one to get out of the car, and then I got down, and then I crossed over. I showed my papers, whatever, and I crossed over to the other side. And I'm just looking around. You know, the Himalayas in Tibet they look very small. They look just like bumps. They're not very tall like Indian Himalayas. Indian Himalayas are like awesome. If you stand down and look, you feel you're a small ant. You know, they're huge and
Yeah.
they're something else. The Himalayas in Tibet are just tiny bits. So I'm just looking, saying, Himalayas, they call it, look at this size and all that. I'm just looking. Guess who comes behind me? And then Sadhguru comes and says, so Manju, how's it going? It's Manju, isn't it? I said, yes, good.
Oh, that's so typical of him. Oh my god, yeah, that. Oh my god.
So it's something which always will be with me. I mean, it was just too much of a shock for me at that time. Too pleased I was.
But that kind of proves something. You really want something so badly and you're stuck to it, and then you let go of it, and then that just comes to you, that appears in front of you then and there.
In my experience, I feel Sadhguru hears whatever I'm thinking. Most of the time it's happening like that. So, can I tell you one more story?
Yes.
Okay, so as I told you, we get down from the car for lunch, and then we get in again and we move further. So we went, had lunch. While they were packing up, one volunteer came and said, now it is your turn to sit in Sadhguru's car. Okay. Now, how this happens is Sadhguru will be driving. There's a volunteer sitting in front with him, and two participants, me and somebody else, like that.
Okay.
We get a chance to drive with him for some 20 minutes, 30 minutes, short distances, so that everybody gets a chance to be. So one on one, if you want to talk with him, this is an opportunity. So the volunteer comes and says, Akka, next is you. So I don't know for what reason, in my mind I'm thinking, oh my God, I have a cold. I just went and sat in the car. My friend also, she was my roommate. So both of us sat in the car and we were waiting. It takes time for Sadhguru because there's so many people, everybody wants to say something to him, talk to him. It just goes on. So we were waiting and waiting. Afterwards, he came. Then he's opening the door. He looks at me and he says, so Manju, are you going to give me your cold?
What? Oh my God.
So I'm looking at him. What are you looking like that? Say, no, Sadhguru, I won't. So that time it was like, he can hear anything I think. He knows everything. I mean, he can see through me, which is a fact.
Wow.
It's a living experience for me.
So anything else happened on the Kailash trip?
Lots of things happened on the Kailash trip, but I'll tell you one story about a Kashi trip, if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was during the Youth and Truth campaign. You have heard of Youth and Truth?
Yeah.
Okay.
2018, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
17 or 18, I think.
Yeah.
So we had gone to Kashi with Sadhguru, with the Isha Sacred Walks. Isha Sacred Walks is the team which organizes all these yatras.
Okay.
Kailash, Badri Kedar, Kashi, Southern, they organize. So we had gone, we were around some 25 of us, or 23, 25 of us. So then there's this beautiful Ganga flowing next to Kashi, right? Kashi is on the banks of Ganga. So Sadhguru decided one dinner will be on a boat.
Ooh.
Okay. So this is this long boat, and on the deck, it's an open boat, so it's like an open deck. And at the corner, there is this sounds of Isha playing music. Okay. And then Sadhguru is sitting there, and we are all participants sitting here. At this corner is where the food is being served. And we sat for some time listening to the music and things like that. Then one volunteer said, if you want to talk to him, this is an opportunity. One by one, you can go and talk. If you have anything specific to say to him or ask him or whatever. So generally, people have lots of things Everybody has some issue, something they want to say or ask or whatever, they want advice, something. One by one, they are going. So I'm sitting there and watching all this. And that time, Youth and Truth program was happening. Next day, the event was in Banaras Hindu University.
Okay.
Okay. And this was the first program which was happening on social media.
Oh.
So lots of comments coming, this, that happening. So there's one volunteer who's showing him comments, good comments, bad comments, all those comments he's showing. Music is happening. He's talking, somebody serving him food. All sorts of things are happening. Okay. I looked for some time and I said, okay, let them do what they want. I went towards the food. And Kashi, it being Kashi, these charts and all, the lovely ones. This was all bite size they were serving. I'm happily tasting one by one. I'm eating, and in my own world, I'm enjoying myself, okay, thoroughly. Then after some time, my roommate came. She said, I spoke to Sadhguru. I said, okay. She said, don't you want to talk to him? So, as I told you, according to me, he knows everything about me, right?
Yeah.
So, what do I say to him? And what do I ask him? According to me, he can literally look through me. So I never thought of going and talking to him. What do I say? I feel like a fool generally when I'm with him, so I generally have nothing to say. So she said, don't you want to talk to him? I said, no, I didn't think about it. And then she said, why? Everybody's going. This is an opportunity and things like that. God knows what got into my head. I said, unless he calls me. Okay. I told her, unless he calls me, there's no need for me to go. He knows everything about me. Then more and more people finished, and so they were also coming this side. People were eating food and all that. And then I saw that they had all finished talking to him. And he was sitting there alone eating food. I thought in my mind, okay, I may not have anything to say to him, but at least I can go touch his feet. Where will I get such an opportunity? No, it won't come so easy. Well, at least go touch his feet. So I went. And